Hello and welcome to Steve Knows. We have huge new game announcements to get excited for, tons of new tech because it's CES season, some new Quest accessories from PC gaming brands, which are pretty awesome, a shocking VR award winner that I need to rant about and get this out, and of course we have a VR win in real life. Also, by the end of day Monday, I will be giving away another $100 for the Oculus Quest store. I found it so hard to get hold of people through YouTube, so please join the Discord. It's so much easier for me to get hold of you. And then please check out the announcements where I'll be giving away games keys, accessories, vouchers, even Quest 2 headsets for active users. The link is down below in the description, and I look forward to chatting. So enough chin wagging, let's get started. An out of the blue game drop where Steve was like, wait, what? Is coming to the Quest platform, and this is a big step. It's one of the few moments where a flat screen title is being brought to the VR space and the Quest platform. It's something you guys always say, it's something I've always said. We should be bringing known titles, experiences people already know and love, and reimagine them for virtual reality. It not only gives players something to get excited for, but also a better understanding about what's different VR has to offer because it's just so immersive. So Codemasters are dropping Grid Legend on the 12th of January. This is a racing sim that released in February last year on Steam. Although this won't be a cross-platform experience with that version, in it you will be able to enjoy multiplayer racing as well with other VR players. There's a career mode, there's also car customization, and it should be exactly like the PC version, which it is aptly named exactly the same, so we should see hundreds of cars, hundreds of tracks to choose from. But I'm curious about is, the page says touch controllers for its controller support, nothing about a steering wheel like a Logitech G series, because Meta, we know for a fact, has relations with Logitech for their accessories already. So this game is going to be a 31GB install, so if you have a small amount of storage, you might have to clear some games to play this. It's going to be $30 or $22.99, which is a fantastic price. When you look at the Steam version, it's $50. You also get 10% off its pre-order if you book it now through the MetaQuest store. A new game also just released, and it may have been shrouded by all of these tech drops from CES, so I'm going to touch on it now. It's called Gods of Gravity. This is a multiplayer real-time strategy game ranging from 2 to 8 players. Although it does have a single player experience as well if you don't want to talk anybody, which I just totally understand. In the game, you have planets and moons and suns that will increase your resource potential. You can then grab your ships and throw them around the solar system to take over planets. It looks like it will be a pretty crazy experience when you have 8 players at once going on and fighting each other in one solar system to be the last man standing. And as an added bonus, it looks to be free. Can't go wrong, free. Next, Mac Rumors, a sort of unofficial official Apple news site that's just been around forever, have come up with a spec sheet for the device based on new information reported by The Information. The mixed reality headset has some strange features that I want to run over quick sharp. 120 degrees FOV, which would be incredibly welcome since we seem to be stuck in this 100 degrees region for mainstream devices. It also has a waist-mounted battery connected via a MagSafe-like power cable to the headset's headband, which will provide a 2-hour max battery life. Although this should be hot swappable for longer sessions, and I think this was probably deliberate to remove the weight of the headset to keep it as light as it possibly can for comfort. It's all about a user experience with Apple. There also will not be a dedicated controller, instead it should support hand tracking and voice recognition to control the headset, and they have tested a wand or a finger thimble as well, which we've seen the patents for, which is you kind of attach it to your fingers and then you can move them around to type numbers, because each of these crevices on your hands is actually a perfect amount for an old school number pad on a telephone. A quick run through now, instead of the quickfire news stories this week, it's going to be a CES section as a bunch of VR related tech has been revealed, and some interesting ones at that. And I'm going to start off with the Quest 2 Razer Headstrap, something I didn't even know I needed, but now I cannot stop thinking about it. So this is a Razer head strap and facial insert for the Quest 2, and it looks like it's going to cradle my head. So it gets this anchor underneath the back of the skull, and then it also gets some top of the head support on the part of the skull that kind of acts like an anchor. It's curving around, not quite the top of the head, but nearly. There's also an insert that is designed to be hygienic and easily washable and not cause facial irritation, because the Quest 2 is known to have a really quite bad facial insert, so they started providing this kind of silicone cover for it. So replace that if you have not. So this one is supposed to be washable and not cause irritation, but also have little vents, which I swear by it. My Quest 2, I always had an insert with vents on, and it just stopped it from fogging up when I started getting really sweaty playing my long Beat Saber sessions. I swear by it. Okay, I know I touched on this already last week, but the reveal has finally happened, so official reports are in for the Vive XR Elite, although it doesn't answer every question that we had. It is cheaper than we thought though, and there's more exciting news about it. So the Vive XR will be $1,100 in the US or $1,299 in the UK, so not $1,500 like the Quest Pro, as this is designed to be a competitor for that. So it's cheaper than the Pro, and they also make a point about this not being a data farm, which may be part of the appeal for many of you. Something new though was you can remove the battery pack from this device and turn it into some like chunky wearable glasses. So if you want to use it for viewing media in bed or lying back for other things, you can do that now, but it will need an external power source if you remove the battery pack. It will also have Android app streaming, so you can use your media devices on a huge 300-inch screen inside the headset, so it will satisfy more portable use cases. Road to VR reported some of the specs, and they say that it contains inside-out tracking, 4 cameras and a depth sensor for better mixed reality content, a 16-megapixel RGB camera so you can have color pass-through, 1920 by 1920 per eye resolution like the Quest Pro, 90Hz refresh rate like the Quest Pro, an XR2 chipset like the Quest Pro, but it will have 128 gigs worth of storage, which is less than the Quest Pro, and 12 gigabytes of RAM. The FOV is up to 110 degrees, which is an improvement. There are also pancake lenses, which means the device should be light and much smaller in its form factor. And the IPD adjustment, it will be manual, but it will support 54 to 73 millimeters in range, which is quite wide actually. It has built-in open-ear audio, 625 grams in weight, but if you take off that battery, it goes to 273 grams, incredibly light. So if you don't care about face and eye tracking, you can save around $400 here and not be linked to Meta. You also have a slightly higher FOV, a modular design. You can use your Android with it with a 300-inch display. It also has a depth sensor if you're interested in mixed reality content. So as a Quest Pro competitor for individual professionals, this could be more appealing. Or as a PC VR visual upgrade for less money, because the pancake lenses make for such better visuals. So I think this could be a better option if you want something like the Pro, but you don't care about eye tracking and you're not going to use it as a standalone gaming device anyway, because you won't get that dynamic foveated rendering, so you get that extra performance boost from a standalone device. This could be a great fit for you. Now, even though Meta own Beat Games, Beat Saber is still going to be available on the PlayStation VR 2, and I know some people were skeptical because this is a VR gateway game, and it's great if people can play this title because it means they'll move on to even more greater, bigger and better experiences. And Meta need money to invest more into VR, so it's a great thing to see. I know they have a great relationship with Sony. They seem to be the only two like big VR consumer providers in this space. So I hope this sort of relationship continues and we'll see more games being shared across the platform. So now this one, can someone please explain to me why a PlayStation VR port that was not really changed to cater for the PC VR standard of experiences in 2022 ended up getting VR Game of the Year on Steam? Don't get me wrong, I had such a fun time playing the game, it made a hilarious video, but the experience was like I was using PlayStation VR light bubble controllers, even though I was playing on a SteamVR headset, and just I don't get it. Upload felt the same way. I know many of you felt the same way. The game had some great moments, but it just didn't feel like a PC VR experience. I'm so shocked that this beat games like Bone Lab or Green Hell for Game of the Year. It's a little sad actually that VR all year couldn't muster up something that didn't feel like a Gen 1 experience, or couldn't beat something that felt like a Gen 1 VR experience. I don't get it. Finally, an XR win, so I can end this on a good day. Magic Leap 2 has got certified so it can be used by doctors during surgery. The IEC 6061-1 certification specifies a device that is intended to diagnose, treat, or monitor a patient under medical supervision, and which makes physical or electrical contact with the patient and or detects such an energy transfer to or from the patient. Whew. So next time you go to the doctors, it might be an interesting experience to see them wearing a virtual reality headset while they're diagnosing your flu. But of course, it sounds like that would be a rather expensive GP. Or in the UK, if you're on the NHS, we'd see something more like the cardboard. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please consider subscribing, join the Discord for chances to win those giveaways, and I'll let you know when my vids go live there as well. Have a great week. Happy gaming, guys. Good day!